Fear. Why do I fear? What are your fears? Fear of death, fear of change, fear of yourself, fear of God. What is death? And why do we fear death? The self is real, so the self can never die. Anything that is created inside of the dream is an illusion. So this body is a dream creation to explore the dream world. When the body can no longer hold the self return back to the invisible world. Because the only reason why you think you're dying, you're thinking that the body is yourself. So that goes on the false self-identification. There is no death. And so this is what this is. The body is a vehicle that you use to explore this dream world. If you look at the truth, then you see that there is no need to fear. So fear arises out of ignorance, out of not knowing the truth of the world, not knowing the truth of yourself, and when you're using your imagination. So fear of change. So we have to remember that change is inevitable. And so right now is a coming a time when we have to change. We have to evolve from this duality nature into the non-duality. I know we are afraid of changes, but changes must happen. And so the time has come for change when we have to transition from the duality back into our true way of being, into the non-duality. So there's no need for fear. The worst fear of the self are the fear of the gods. The fear of consciousness, tyrannical rulership, and enslavement. So it's time to face your fears. Who is it that is afraid? What is the real fear? Right? The real fear is that the self is enslaved and trapped in the dream of the consciousness, the ego, the supreme ego. The self is terrified of the gods. It's terrified of the consciousness. It's time to face your dark nature, to illuminate them. And these dark natures, who are they? They are the gods. They are yourself exploring the world, disembodied as the supreme ego. The gods have planted fear within you so they can always control you and keep you in bondage. You must face your fears to demolish them. Go to the root and uproot your fears. Yes, I castrate this ego for my real self-liberation. I am free. So you must do that. Are you ready to face your fears? I am victorious. I am triumphant. And fear has no power over me. I say fear has no power over me. Fear is imagination, ignorance, and illusion. Fear is imagination, ignorance, and illusion. I realize that the world in which I live has not been projected onto me, but by me. I realize that all comes from within. I realize fear must come to an end. I realize fear must come to an end. Everything I have created, I demolish. Everything that I have created, I demolish. I return to my ultimate true state.